I'm Scott.
I'm Ben.
And this is a review. On today's episode, which is episode 10, our episode 10 extravaganza, we'll be reviewing Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider follows the story of Nathan Wayne, Alicia Vikander, who is the daughter of billionaire treasure-hunting exposition man Lord Dick Croft, Dominic West, who went missing 7 years ago. Watch as the Tomb Raider follows in her father's exact word steps, which lead her to the Island of Doom, where aggressive military neckbeard man, Walton Goggins, lies in wait to jam more exposition down her throat about some evil mummy that everyone wants for some reason. The Tomb Raider then must raid a tomb, which contains booby traps and a magic disease that turns you into a mummy. Will the Tomb Raider stop the evil neckbeard man and save the day? Who cares? So, Ben, what did you think about Tomb Raider 2018?
Tomb Raider 2018 is a fantastic exercise in seeing how far you can stretch a 2-hour film that tells you everything.
This movie was painful to watch. We almost walked out probably 3 different times.
Yeah, I was rip-roaring ready to go.
Yeah.
This movie is the most disinteresting, like arduously boring film I have watched since like some like bullshit like abstract French New Wave movie back in school. Like this is a movie where you would be hard pressed to find an individual line of dialogue. And I literally mean the entire script. Every line spoken in the film is either a overt, not even remotely riffed on cliche.
Yeah.
Or explicit ABC exposition.
Yeah. So, for those that don't know, Tomb Raider is based on a video game. This is another case of the infamous video game movie curse. So, Tomb Raider 2018 is based on the kind of reboot of Tomb Raider for Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah, like came out in like 2013, I think.
Yeah, which that was basically inspired by Uncharted series, which was basically inspired by Tomb Raider to begin with. So we've come full circle with this thing.
Yeah. Like, this really... They are making an Uncharted film.
They are, and I'm sure... The thing, though, is I've never played a Tomb Raider game, but I know enough about them, and this movie does seem like it actually is the actual story of Tomb Raider to a degree. It's billionaire exposition man is her father. He goes missing, and then she grows up and follows in his footsteps, become an adventurer. It's just... That is the actual story, and they stayed true to that, I guess. But, like, Lara Croft is not an interesting character. Like, at least Nathan Drake is funny and has charisma.
Yeah, no. Like, anything new and exciting that could have been done by this movie was done by the game. Like, this is a faithful adaptation of that game, but to a fault. I know it. Like, you know, if you've played that game or watched friends play that game or just know the basic structure of how adventure movies go, like if you've seen National Treasure or The Goonies or like fucking Swiss Family Robinson or you know exactly where this movie is going to go already just by virtue of like storytelling tradition. And then they tell you everything.
The exposition dumping in this movie, we're not joking when we say it's constantly like there's no character development. Lara Croft just shows up in places and for no reason, like she just knows how to solve these riddles. There's no like explaining like where she might. No, it's like, oh, her father let her play with puzzles when she was a kid. And so she knows how to solve. There's a puzzle early on where like she figures out where his secret bat cave is, the Croft Cave.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a mildly clever riddle, but there's no thought that goes into it. It's like she reads it one time and instantly knows, oh, there's obviously a secret button in his grave that'll take me down to his lair. It's like, what?
There's like what's supposed to be this huge. So they basically, I mean, spoilers, I guess.
Oh, we're not avoiding spoilers here at all. Sorry.
Like this movie.
So this movie feels a lot like a C-grade national treasure in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like the same kind of like cool little like, we gotta go seal the Declaration of Independence. Like that's not, there's the puzzle aspect of it, but there's no reinforcing where they come from, where they are. Like they're in some Japanese tomb that's like way booby-trapped for some reason. It's like way advanced. It's like there's no explanation. It's just total video game nonsense.
Yeah.
And like we said, it does kind of represent the game, which is basically a convoluted, shitty story, which is an excuse for Lara Croft to run around in the jungle and hunt people in the woods. That's what this is. You get several set pieces that they plucked right from the games of her climbing on stuff, which is like most of the movie. It's her falling down shit and then climbing up shit.
Yeah, she basically, like a video game, she gets bounced around like a human pinball inside Indiana Jones-inspired Rube Goldberg machines for the last 45 minutes, and that's it.
And the first, 30 minutes, she's in London just
a broke millennial.
Yeah, and
she, drives for Uber Eats on the bike.
Yeah, they go out of their way to establish that she's poor, but we all know that she's not. And she has this, inheritance waiting for her that she refuses. Why?
Yeah, she's basically holding out. She doesn't want to sign the Declaration of Death to actually, get her father's inheritance.
But then she needs, immediately after she decides to go on this adventure, and she knows that, he might still be alive out there. Why doesn't she take the money to use it, but instead she has to, pawn some shit?
Yeah, she pawns instead of selling that. Yeah, okay. This totally makes no sense.
No.
So instead of, biting the bullet and signing the paperwork to only legally declare her father dead so she can assume his assets, she sells out the priceless amulet that was given to her by her father as his last parting gift before he f***ed off for good.
Yeah, she pawns
She pawns it off without a bat of an eye for $10,000.
Because she's desperate for money.
$10,000. Because she's desperate for money instead of where she literally could sign her father's last will and testament and become a billionaire.
I mean, I guess that it's supposed to be proving that she's better than that. It's nobody would do that. I don't care what your moral character is. Anyone that's I need money for even if you've been holding off for this long, at that moment you'd be like, oh, this is perfect. I can use this to complete his adventure.
Yeah, that's way less shilly than dumping your priceless family talisman off at what is established in the diegesis of a film as a sketch-ass shit pawn shop. And she gets underbid on it by fucking Nick Frost.
Yeah, there's and that cameo by Nick Frost, the whole scene, he's the pawnbroker or whatever, and it's a useless scene in the movie. We both looked at each other when it was over. It's like this whole point of the scene was just to show how she got a boat when they already had a whole scene explaining how she could have gotten a boat with her fortune. So it doesn't. Oh. So they get to the island of doom.
Yeah.
She has to go to China to enlist somebody, right?
She has to go to Hong Kong to get robbed by some street thugs who somehow.
She's very stupid.
Yeah.
She gets
baited by the classic Westerner in a foreign country trick of friendly kids who seem harmless get close to you and then grab your shit.
The second they showed up, it's they're gonna rob her.
Yeah, it's
obviously.
You're gonna get robbed. This is what happens.
And she's just kind of dumb the whole time like that.
Yeah, she's oh yeah, I totally were.
And she gets beat up constantly. Yeah. She gets beat to hell, and it's
our opening introduction. So I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go a little MMA deep cuts here. The opening introduction to Lara Croft, where we supposedly see her combat skills, is when she's sparring. She's MMA or Muay Thai sparring at some lame gym in London, and she's getting her shit rocked.
Yeah.
And then, to cap it all off, she gets standing rear naked choked and choked out to where she, has to tap.
Right.
And
so it's a great intro.
It's a great intro for anyone for y'all who don't roll so deep with combat sports. Like,
she gets choked out.
if you get choked out when you're standing up, like striking with someone, you're really bad. You're really, really terrible.
But then it's also like their bad way of kind of like, it's their smoking gun, because Lara Croft does that move constantly.
Yeah,
she does that exact like the move that Ben was describing that kind of knocks her out in the beginning. Then for the rest of the movie, anytime there's a big like fight with somebody, she pulls that move on them exactly. It always turns into this like MMA thing, and I'm like, all right, sure.
Her first kill is a rear naked choke smothered wombo combo.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, okay, that's how we connected that thread. Like, she got choked out one time, and now because she learned how it is, you can do it.
It's stupid.
Okay, cool.
So literally an hour. This movie's 2 hours long, so literally an hour and a half is her getting to the tomb, the titular tomb of the Tomb Raider movie, and then. If I can give this movie any credit, I will say that it at least picks up a little bit the pace. The tomb is entertaining. There's traps. There was a good kill. Somebody gets impaled by a spike.
A little Cannibal Holocaust love.
Yeah, so...
that's fun.
There was some interesting things going on. You have the kind of mummy zombie disease thing in there, which is stupid, but like, hey... something was happening.
Yeah.
And people
that didn't
weren't
need
talking.
people telling me what was happening to be happening.
So, and then you get your typical kind of just action movie ending, and then it's over. It's like, there's nothing to this movie is so light with content. Like, nothing really happens. There's a lot of jumping around. Like, everything you see in the trailer, that's
the movie.
Just repeated over and over again.
That's all, honestly, that's all you need to see.
Yeah.
Just watch that last trailer where they have that, like, slowed down Survivor cover.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right.
That's the movie.
That's it. That's it. You're actually probably better off just watching that.
You don't have people telling you what's going on as much.
True.
And Walton Goggins is the villain for like, no reason. Like, they never explain why. He's just typical villain character.
Yeah, he's like, I need to get back to my family.
Yeah.
Your dad put me here. I've been here for 7 years trying to find the tomb.
Why
That's it.
They like this evil Trinity like shadow company wants the mummy. Why? Because they think that it's cursed, or like Walton Goggins acts like he thinks nothing.
He's a skeptic.
Yeah, so it's like, why would they keep them there for 7 years? Why would they have not given up by this time? It doesn't make any sense.
Why would he be a skeptic? He's all Captain Ahab for like getting the tomb. Like, he literally murders those who can't work anymore.
Yeah.
To like blow up the mountain, like classic, like this is, some Manifest Destiny bullshit where they make the immigrants like blow up the mountain, and he's like the railroad baron, like.
Yeah. He's a villain with no motivation.
Yeah,
like, his motivation is I want to go home, but like, why is he even there to begin with? Doesn't make sense.
He has a line where like when he first rescues Alicia Vikander, from like the beach or whatever when she crash lands on the island of Doom, he has like a glance. He's like, I had daughters. They're pretty like you. And it's like, that's all we're supposed to get, that he has like a life back home.
It's like,
he's like,
okay.
Oh, okay. Like,
well, the weird thing with him is, to me, it almost like they were setting him up to be crazy. Like, not just evil. Like, I thought they were setting it up that like
he's delusional a little bit.
Yeah, because like that's how bad this movie is. It's like you keep it sets stuff up in your brain that doesn't. It's not, the movie's like, no. You're just, this is just a thing we're showing you. But it's like they kept like they showed I've got this one ticket home. I have this phone, and then I kept thinking like they were gonna get the phone, and there was gonna be nothing on the other end, and he was just gonna be talking to himself.
That'd been cool.
And like they had these shades of like things that made me believe that he was completely delusional and he had lost his mind.
But they established he's a cold-hearted murderer.
But he is. But that's it. He's a murderer. He's working for the military. The phone brings in the reinforcements. It's all exactly like he says. There's no
layers to this.
Yeah, there's nothing else going on.
Yeah.
You don't learn more as it goes on. It's just he's a bad guy.
No.
That's it. So...
And like these action sequences, like his henchmen, like they are Stormtrooper original Star Wars level inaccurate.
Oh yeah.
They're running around with like M16s and like ARs, and
They can't hit anything.
They can't hit the broadside of a goddamn barn.
No.
Like, they look like me trying to shoot sporting clays. It's abysmal. I don't hit any of them.
Yeah. The director, who we haven't really mentioned, is a guy named Roar Uthag. I don't know. He's a Swedish director. This is a first-time filmmaker. He's done some shorts. This is some nobody.
Yeah, this is literally some nobody. And it shows, like,
exactly
the lack of
direction.
Direction and vision behind this film is shocking.
Yeah, it's very much just scene after scene after scene. There's no cohesion to this. No. And it's not even it's not technically made poorly. It's fine. Like, the filmmaking is fine. The cinematography is fine. It's nothing special, but it's not, like, bad.
This is a okay made film. It's like $100 million movie, and it shows. There's quality CGI. There's, for the most part, there's big practical effects, big sets.
Yeah,
they tried.
Yeah. See, with something like Death Wish, Eli Roth had a vision, and it fell flat, which is, like, at least that's entertaining to watch because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
This guy had nothing. He had no vision for this. He saw some stills from the game and said, all right, let's do that. And it just shows that it's so dull.
All of the action sequences are almost shot for shot, but, like, even less kinetic cutscenes.
Well, because the entertaining part of the game is playing the game.
Yeah.
Not if you just sat down and watched the cutscenes of Tomb Raider, you would turn that shit off in like 5 minutes because it's not fun. You want to play it, and that is what this movie is missing. You're not interacting. You're not the one pushing this forward. You're not experiencing the adrenaline of these. You're just watching it, and it just meanders along. And I got nothing. We're spinning in circles here. I got nothing else I can say. Let's just go to final thoughts. So, Ben, final thoughts on Tomb Raider 2018.
Tomb Raider 2018 is the most uninteresting, boring slog you could probably, like, conjure up in your head, suffering in a theater. Honestly, go watch the Avengers Infinity War trailer like 5 times. You'll have a way better cinema going experience.
Or one time,
like, on your phone than you will paying money to see this in an auditorium.
Yeah.
It's just forgettable in every sense of the word, disappointing. Offensively boring.
So if you had to give Tomb Raider a rating out of 10, what would you give Tomb Raider?
I'm going to give Tomb Raider 2018 one scratched PS1 disc out of 10.
Great. I can't really add much to what you said there. I can't add much at all to this review. This movie is so boring. I wanted to leave. I was falling asleep for most of it. The one positive thing I can say about it is it at least somewhat represents the game visually, and it doesn't change the story drastically. So if you're looking for a exact version of this game told in a really boring movie, there you go. I give Tomb Raider 2018 2 convoluted puzzle boxes out of 10.
This movie fucking sucks. Like, if you want to go, like, to a dark theater and, like,
take a nap for 2 hours?
Take a nap or, like, disassociate for a bit, like, this is good white noise.
I was fighting sleep hard. Oh, yeah. I was dozing, and I don't fall asleep in theaters ever, but I was fighting sleep something fierce during this. And the most entertaining thing about this movie was the director's name is Roar, and that reminded me and Ben about Roar.
See the shadow of the eagle in the sunrise. Hear the music of the children in the moonrise. Feel the power of the lion when he roars like thunder.
Roar.
But you could get killed. The cat's got a little excited. That's all.
Why did you bring us here? We're just gonna die.
Roar.
And do you know what your friends are probably doing to your family right now? They are eating. Shut up.
Roar.
Whose land is this? This is my land.
Roar.
Skip Tomb Raider.
Skip Tomb Raider and watch fucking
Go
Roar.
watch Roar. Roar.
Roar.
And on that note, this has been a review. I'm Scott.
I'm Ben.
Thanks for listening.